Have you ever heard the story of the boy who flew too close to the sun? It's a timeless tale of ambition, invention, and a father's tragic warning. This is the story of Icarus and Daedalus. Our story begins on the island of Crete, ruled by the powerful King Minos. Here, a brilliant inventor named Daedalus and his young son, Icarus, were held captive. Daedalus was a master craftsman, the very architect who had designed the inescapable labyrinth for the king. Now, he and his own son were prisoners within its shadow, trapped on an island surrounded by the vast, endless sea. King Minos controlled the land and the water, but Daedalus looked to the sky and saw their only path to freedom, gazing at the birds soaring overhead. A daring idea sparked in his mind. He told Icarus, "The king may rule the earth and the sea, but he does not rule the air. We will escape through the sky." So Daedalus began to gather material. He collected feathers of all sizes, from seagulls, eagles, and doves, arranging them meticulously from smallest to largest. He bound the larger feathers together with strong linen thread and secured the smaller ones with beeswax, gently shaping them into two magnificent pairs of wings. It was a marvel of engineering, a creation born from desperation and genius. Icarus watched his father with wide-eyed wonder, playfully chasing stray feathers and softening the wax with his thumb, unaware of the profound destiny being woven before him. When the wings were finally complete, Daedalus strapped one pair to his own shoulders and flapped them, rising into the air like a great bird. He hovered for a moment, testing his creation, then landed to prepare his son. As he fastened the second pair of wings onto Icarus's small shoulders, his hands trembled. He looked his son in the eye, his voice filled with a mix of hope and fear. "Listen to me, Icarus," he warned. "You must fly a middle course. Do not fly too low, or the damp sea spray will weigh down your wings. And do not fly too high, or the sun's heat will melt the wax that holds your feathers. Stay close to me, and you will be safe." With tears in his eyes, Daedalus kissed his son, a final, fearful goodbye, and led the way into the sky. At first, the flight was exhilarating. They soared over the Aegean Sea, leaving the island of Crete far behind. Fishermen looked up in astonishment, mistaking them for gods. Icarus felt a thrill he had never known. The wind rushed past him. The world spread out like a map below, and he felt a sense of power and freedom that was intoxicating. He flapped his wings with growing confidence, swooping and diving through the air, laughing with pure joy. He was no longer a prisoner. He was a master of the sky. But with this newfound freedom came a dangerous pride. Forgetting his father's solemn warning, Icarus began to feel invincible. He looked up at the golden sun, a fiery chariot in the sky, and was filled with an irresistible desire to soar higher, to touch the heavens themselves. He left his father's side and began to climb, pushing his wings against the air. Ascending toward the radiant light, Daedalus cried out, his voice lost in the wind, "Icarus, come back! You're flying too high." But Icarus was deaf to his father's pleas, lost in the ecstasy of his ascent. As he drew closer to the sun, he felt the intense heat on his skin. He noticed a sweet smell as the beeswax that held his wings together began to soften and melt. One by one, the feathers loosened and drifted away. He flapped his arms frantically, but there was nothing left to catch the air. His wings had disintegrated. For a horrifying moment, he hung suspended in the sky. Then he began to fall. He tumbled from the heavens, crying out his father's name as he plunged toward the sea below. Daedalus watched in horror, helpless, as his beloved son disappeared into the waves. He circled the area, crying Icarus's name, but all he found were feathers floating on the water. Heartbroken, the great inventor flew on alone, forever haunted by the memory of his son, who flew too close to the sun. The sea where he fell is still called the Icarian Sea to this day. The story of Icarus is more than just a myth. It's a powerful lesson about the balance between ambition and caution, freedom and responsibility. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more tellies from ancient mythology.